Welcome back, y'all. So this is Chantel. I am going to show you guys how to process ground deer meat and pinto beans. I was so excited when I found out that you can process the pinto beans and things like that and meat at the same processing times. Okay, so what we need to first do is inspect our pressure canner. I'm going to check the rubber seal, see if there's any cracks. I will put a little bit of oil on the seal, and also I'm going to check the safety valve and then the vent pipe. You're going to want to hold that up into the light and make sure it is free and clear of any debris. And also you'll want to have about 2 inches of water in your canner. Okay, so we are going to can raw deer meat, and of course you know deer meat needs a little bit of help, so I wanted to make this into taco meat, so I added my favorite taco seasonings. The pinto beans you're going to want to soak overnight in water and rinsed the next day. And I just guessed, I'm not for sure how much pinto beans I added in this. I want to say about 3/4 cups maybe. And I'm going to use a little bit of bouillon to give that deer meat some extra flavor. Today I'm going to use some sea salt. It's a good preservative. You can use kosher salt if you want. I was told to not use iodized salt. It can become cloudy. So we're going to add, I'm not going to fill this all the way up, so I don't have a measurement of how much head space I have because the deer meat is fatty and it'll give off some more liquid. But you'll want to have some liquid in there for the beans because those beans are going to soak up that water or the broth. Take your little measuring tool here and just kind of poke down and get some air pockets out. Now it is going to be cold, so your canner's got to be cold, your jars are cold, everything's going to be cold processed because the deer meat is cold. And I am going to just can up the rest of these pinto beans because like I said, you can can the meats, this ground meat and the pinto beans at the same processing times. And my altitude, it's going to be at 15 pounds per square inch for the pressure canner. So make sure you do your diligence and figure out your elevation or altitude. Okay, this is just the beef broth. Of course, it didn't mix. It wasn't cooked, so it is cold. And the beans, I'm giving them a 1-inch head space. Now, because we are dealing with meats, I like to use white distilled vinegar to wipe the rims, and that'll help get rid of the fat, if there's any fat or grease or anything on the rim of the jars. I have my lids soaking in warm water, and this is going to be finger tight, so you want the air to release from the jars, so it's only finger tight. Okay, and here, because I'm using a lid again, a used lid, I'm going to give it a little tally mark showing that this is a used lid. And if it doesn't seal later on, I do put a little X on it. So yes, this is very rebellious. So when you build up more and more experience, you can try new things and venture out a little bit. This is your kitchen and your rules. So we're going to turn the heat on and we're going to bring the temperature up slowly. Once we have vented for 10 minutes, we're going to add the weight on, and when the weight starts to jiggle, that is when we're going to start our timing process. Okay, we're going to let this jiggle, but you need to bring the temperature back down to where it's only jiggling 3 or 4 times every minute. Okay, here is the finished product. You're going to let this come down naturally after your processing time is up. So you just turn the heat off and let this come down naturally. This takes several hours. But I wanted to show you guys that this is still boiling. And they all sealed. And it just needs a little cleanup. Happy canning.